Thank you very much for the introduction. As said, my name is Tracie Thompson. I'm the Global Manager for Kidnap and Ransom Insurance for Chartis. I'm going to cover basically the elements of our insurance and focus on the main component, which we believe is the most critical, and that's the pre-incident preparation. And on that, I'll say... Okay, sorry. Just to give some background, I mean, I think it's fair to say that K&R Insurance gathers a lot of attention, which I believe is mainly due to being misinformed about the true elements of the cover. There are three parts of the K&R product that are available in the market. That's the pre-incident, the financial loss cover, and the response consultancy that clients get in the event of an incident. Kidnap has been around for many decades in many forms in many hostile environments, and for us, I need to say that piracy in its form today is actually kidnap on sea. As I've said, we believe that preparation is the key component of our cover and is the best way to deter these type of situations. Through many years of providing K&R Insurance, we've been providing it for over 25 years. And now Maritime K&R Solutions over the last probably 3 to 4 years, we've become a big advocate of risk preparedness. And as I said, we believe this is the most critical component. Being prepared for piracy situations does not mean taking one or two elements of BMP4 and implementing them. We believe that shipping companies need to look at all elements, determine which are going to help most effectively, and then implement them accordingly. Through underwriting this type of insurance, we get told about the types of protocols and measures that shipping companies have in place, for instance, citadels, razor wires, etc. All part of prescribed protocols and measures deterring a piracy attack. But the question for me, from an underwriting perspective, is how effective are these various protocols? And what is influencing whether shipping companies are implementing these measures and protocols? Is it cost? Is it the unknown factor of effectiveness? Or if cost is an issue, is it which measure is better than the other? I would say probably over the last 12 months, more than previously, piracy gets a lot of attention. And when a piracy attack occurs, I think we can all agree that it's almost instantaneously advised to the public through different mediums. I can tell you when one of our clients suffers an incident, I will get probably 10 to 20 emails within the first hour about the ship being taken, where it's been taken, and a lot of information is available to the public through various domains. One of my questions, I suppose, is through those different mediums, when they're reporting unsuccessful attacks, do they really go through why those attacks were unsuccessful, what worked, what didn't work, and how valuable that would be to shipping companies to understand those various protocols and measures. As I've said, through the K&R Solutions, and more for today, the Maritime K&R Solutions, we offer access to experts who not only assist in the response to piracy events, but also work closely with our shipping clients on the preparedness. This includes three key elements I've chosen for today are the crew training, vulnerability assessments, and simulations. And I want to quickly, I'm very conscious of time, so I'll quickly touch on those one by one. And I've picked those three because we believe they are the most important, and certainly from the incidents we've seen, they've certainly shown, a lot of effectiveness has been demonstrated through these three elements. On crew training, the crew are critical obviously for so many significant reasons. They're the first people to encounter the pirates' approach, so proper training on how to deal with attacks is essential, and how to deal with these volatile situations in a quick and effective manner is absolutely vital. Procedures should be established and be implemented. A significance we see that we're privy to is, there's great documents, robust documents that exist with the master, with the CSO. But I suppose the question is, are the crew trained to initiate them and to follow them in the event of an attack? Secondly, ensuring seafarers are properly trained and equipped to handle these type of attacks, these type of situations. What we've seen is they, by having the seafarers properly trained, it holds significant values for shipping companies following an incident. Because what it does is it demonstrates a true duty of care that shipping companies and as employers have shown the crew. And certainly when you're dealing with not only the seafarers but the many families of those seafarers, it is critical that you show a significant amount of care and advice to obviously seafarers when they're going through these type of situations. I'm going to quickly move on to vulnerability assessments. This is always an interesting one for us because, as I said, on underwriting it, we ask specific questions about protocols and measures that shipping companies have in place. And we get, a long list, and it is pretty much, and I don't think I'm unfair in saying it, it is like a hymn sheet. We have citadels, we have razor wire, etc., etc. And the question for us is that's great, but have you tested their effectiveness? And surely isn't this the biggest safeguard? What we want is, closer examination of these protocols, and we offer, obviously under the products that we offer assistance to shipping companies to actually test them and to test the vulnerability of these measures. And I'll give you one quick example of something really basic that was overlooked through an incident that we dealt with about 3 months ago. And it was in relation to a citadel. Now I know there's lots of questions about the effectiveness of a citadel, and there's various questions around that, and whilst it may be robust in terms of having controlling capabilities, the best communications within that citadel be constructed in such a hard fashion. The situation that I infer to just a moment ago was a piracy attack, and it lasted about 48 hours. Now all the crew successfully got into the citadel. Unfortunately, the conditions in the citadel weren't as hygienic as perhaps thought. So obviously this impacted the crew significantly, and following that a number became ill. And the reason for mentioning that is that it is a very easy oversight. Indeed, another quick example of this is where there are seafarers with medical conditions, and we see this on land as well with kidnap victims. And how do you best prepare for that? Again, I think, from the many years of dealing with K&R and the inherent risks and exposures with on-land K&R, I believe, and again, it's obviously a very it's an opinion that's for me only, certainly not Chartis, is that, I think shipping companies can be better prepared for piracy risks than companies dealing with on-land kidnap and ransom. And the reason being is that there are documents out there, there are organizations out there that run through, the prescribed, suggested preparation to be in place. And that's through different avenues. I think companies who are dealing with, kidnaps in Venezuela, in Mexico, and the Philippines, they're pretty much left to their own devices. There is not an organization which actually assists with how to prepare for these type of risks to their employees or to their families, etc. Moving quickly along to simulation. And again, as I said, I'm talking strictly from the underwriting side of it and what my underwriters are faced with when we talk about simulations. They're time consuming for shipping companies. They're certainly onerous, and it's who best to engage, who should we engage when we're doing simulations. We offer simulations from our expert consultants under our policies. The success of managing a piracy incident will be determined by how prepared you are. And obviously the main objective is the safety of the crew and the economic survival of the company. The greatest problem is that shipping companies, regardless of what we hear in the media about the number of piracy attacks that do occur, shipping companies are seldom exposed to those actual events. So the best way in gaining that experience in dealing with the various consequences that these events can throw at a company is to actually simulate a real-life event. And obviously, you know, our consultants specifically that we approve under our policies have dealt with about 36 to 40 to date. So they have real-life experience of the types of situations that the crew, the shipping companies, the families are faced with in these type of incidents. So they can bring a sense of reality to, you know, to testing those measures you have in place. As I said, you know, carrying it out is critical for the crews, for the CMTs, for the companies, and furthermore, I think with pirates changing the playing field so regularly, it is very critical and very important to be kept up to date with what the environment is looking like. Simulations, what we suggest, should include all stakeholders, or as many as practicable, and it will also illustrate any breakdowns in response at a time where it is easy to fix it rather than in a real-life situation. As I said, the consultants that we offer and that we see are the main components of the policies, the K&R market policies that are out there, have a lot of experience in these type of situations. And I think obviously the complex nature of a piracy incident with not only the various stakeholders from, you know, the shipping companies, the crew management companies, it's the insurers, the lawyers. There's a number of people at that table for you to deal with in the event of an incident.
Sorry, I'm afraid you have 30 seconds to conclude.
Sorry. Well, obviously, in conclusion, I think, you know, from the insurance, I think, you know, I have to say it is misinterpreted at a lot of times, the K&R insurance. And we believe that the key to successfully addressing these issues is to anticipate, and it will allow shipping companies to respond to the attacks rapidly and effectively while still continuing their business, which is what they need to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nobody else?